Yeah, Renegade and Mint Crystal, they are a little bit inconsistent, but they do, pop up from time to time, and they are both here today to cover ESL Asia, ESL Open Cup Asia, I should say, as they are in other parts of the bracket. And Mint Crystal, I believe, is currently casting Patience. No, sorry, Creator. Creator.
Ooh. It's really sick to see. This is 1-1?
This
or no,
is
0-0?
1-0 in favor of our bottom right player.
Oh, I honestly was not really expecting that, as much as I'm a fan of him. Here on Def Aura LE, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. The red Terran player, he is going to be representing Team GP, the general practitioners themselves. He is the Tuna Terran. We have Ryung.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Taiwanese Pro Tour player. He is blue. He is representing Team Alpha X. Currently down 0-1 in this best of 3. It is nice.
And I gotta tell you, Light, IEM Katowice 2 nights ago, it was painful.
Do tell.
I've been cheering a lot for Nice here. I think throughout 2020, we've really noticed that he has been growing to be the #1 player from Taiwan, overtaking the likes of Haas and Rex and all of that.
Yep.
Last night, though, 2 nights ago, ended up getting eliminated by another player that we really saw grow a lot. That was Armani. Felt like watching my children fight each other.
Yeah,
it was kind of painful.
We've been seeing a lot more of that recently, unfortunately. So it is a bit of a shame that does happen, but it's also great that they were able to compete and represent their countries and their teams in IEM Katowice. So now that I assume Nice is out of the tournament, he can focus a little bit more on some of these other events. Like, there's still plenty for him to compete in.
Absolutely. There's probably some pressure off his shoulders over here. So he can play kind of loose. Well, I mean, it's still kind of recent, the sort of sting of getting knocked out. And obviously, a lot of different players, you have some of them who only need a day to process and be like, all right, back on the grind, compared to some of the others who will want to take a little bit of a break, sort of evaluate their plays and other things going on. But it seems like Nice is in the former category. This ain't the end of the world. There's a lot more events throughout 2021, so might as well practice for him.
Exactly, and that's why we do see him here. He also usually plays in ESL and Medigas as well. He just does the entire thing. So he does this, goes to bed, and then wakes up early for the next tournament. And speaking of, Ryung, he has his own particular style, which is part of what I love about him. He has his own build that he goes for. And it was pretty interesting because he skipped his Reaper to begin with.
Indeed, he did. Immediately wanted to get as quick of a react as he could. And now we see why. He's going to be scouting with 2 Hellions here. If you can get them into Middle Rhine, it's great, but that's not the priority. As we see, he's making other uses of his reactor.
Ooh, that he is, as we do have a couple of Widow Mines on the way, some already done. And this is pretty key here, especially because Ryung hasn't scouted too much. I was gonna say, if an Oracle dove in, he does have those Widow Mines ready for defense, but we don't have Oracles. Nice, going straight into Phoenixes.
Interesting. And we do see this a lot more nowadays in PvT. I think particularly because, especially in the maybe not so much in the Korean scene, but I feel like it was made to counter one of the Korean TvP styles, which focuses a lot on tanks and early tank pushes.
Yeah, we don't see that coming out from Ryung, but regardless, these Phoenixes will help out when it comes to shutting down the Medivacs, also lifting up those Widow Mines before they can burrow. We'll see how fast Nice is to react.
And he is dropping all of them in a line. Nice, not taking the bait of the Widow Mines that were dropped in the low ground.
Takes out the front!
That's a feels bad moment. These 5 probes did not have to go down, but man, Ryung borrowing the mine right on top of a probe. I don't think that was intentional, but man, I kind of wish it was. I choose to believe it was.
Yeah, the misclicks. Oh god, he like when he picked up that probe feels bad, man. As you said, in the end, like 4 Widow Mines for 5 probes, like it's not a bad trade for Nice. He was able to clean everything up, and now he's moving out across the map now with that map control. But despite that, Ryung, he's still going across with an empty medevac.
That's pretty much just a buffer for the Raven. Be dropping a couple of auto turrets around. Pretty. I want to say it's pretty smart, but you know, losing a medevac early on when you want to be using it for your eventual push that Ryung is getting ready for. I mean, it can hurt. He boosts it back, okay?
It must have been hotkeyed alongside the Raven, so a bit of a mistake there, but as long as it makes it home safe and sound, it's all good for Ryung. Meanwhile, that Raven is waiting for his moment to dive in with those auto turrets, as you said, and ooh, nice. Going from Phoenixes straight into those Colossus.
This feels a little old school. I don't quite remember which era this was, but Phoenix Colossus... I don't know, I feel like this is a very 2017-2018 kind of style.
Yeah, it's a composition that used to be a lot more prominent. Nowadays, not so much, and especially because he's still committing to those Phoenixes. Like, typically you get like 5 or something, right? Like 2 CC those tanks, and that's kind of it. But he's committing so much more to them.
Which does have its uses. He's using them for harass. Nice, really saying who needs an Oracle, where you can just pick up SCVs like that. Very good damage being done here. Ryung already a little bit behind, but now his economy is hurting that much more.
Ooh, that it is. We still have the third on the way, but I say that it does get delayed as the SCV does get picked off once again by those Phoenixes. Really good control there. Really nice control there by Nice, being able to just deal so much with them.
And he's just buying himself time. He knows that Ryung isn't going to be too active at the moment. He is investing every single one of his resources into the 1-1 push that's coming his way. So, again, anything he can do to slow it down, buy himself some time, get a couple of more Colossus out for the splash damage, really going to be useful for him.
Yeah, exactly. And I was also about to say that because of the Observer, Nice is aware of the army pushing out. Like, he knows that it is on the way. So because of that, Ryung has to be so careful with his reinforcements that they don't get picked off like this. Oh, okay, backs off.
Or is it? Okay, now it is.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is perhaps the best time for Ryung to push out. He has a very nice army his way. Or going to Nice's way. I like that Ryung is trying to bait the Phoenixes. But Nice ain't falling for it. And again, this just delays Ryung even more now. There are currently 2 Colossus out and a 3rd about to be finished up. A Raven can only disable 2 of them when it's on full health.
That it can. It is...
energy, rather.
Yeah, it is coming back to, you know, reinforce the army. It looks like the Phoenixes do get pushed away. But again, like with force fields, with shield battery, with overcharge, it's going to be so difficult for Ryung to make something happen here. But I guess he's going for it.
It's trying to position. 1 interference matrix will go down. Really nice force fields coming out here from Nice. One of the interference matrices is going to finish up here. So again, only 1 of them left for Ryung to make use of. He knows it. He's splitting up his army so that he doesn't take too much splash from the Colossus. Wants to make sure that most of the damage Nice is thrown out his way is tanked by the Marauders.
He is, and Ryung is looking to try and multi-prong at the same time. I love this because I don't think like one committed attack can really do too much here, especially because as time goes on, Nice just works in more and more zealots. Does pick off a shield battery.
Yeah, which is actually not to be underestimated. Again, shield batteries are really going to be the unsung hero of defense here for Nice. Setting up a very good flank here with these zealots. Ryung still hasn't moved in with his drop yet.
Oh god, he's moving in now, but
it's just not gonna work out.
Yeah, everything is gonna get cleaned up. At the same time, the drop is landing in the main base. We'll see how much damage this can get done as Nice dominates the main. Oh god, he just recalls.
Yeah, seems to be a little bit too late. Well, the mine's actually getting a lot of probes over here. So not terrible for Ryung, but yeah, moving in with his drop just a little bit too late. Nice, cleaning 1 army up and then having plenty of time to get ready for the other one. Ryung, he's gonna have to get ready for round 2, and when your initial attack fails to do much as a Terran player here, you're really in a tough spot.
Exactly.
Defensively and aggressively.
Yeah, and Ryung is aware of that. That's why he just picked up whatever he could and he's just going across the map. Like, he knows that he can't defend against this. Like, he doesn't have any tanks, he doesn't have any Widow Mines, he just has pure bio. Only a couple of Widow Mines popping out now, and Ryung has to make something happen here. It looks like maybe he's gonna try and get it. No, okay, no, he just commits. He's going for it. He's zooming. Oh.
Yeah,
no.
he was... he wants to drop on top of the Colossus,
BM.
it seems, which
The
is
BM.
very... I don't think it's BM. I think it's more overcharge.
Sure, buddy.
It's more overcharge.
Sure, as the scan goes
Trust
out,
me.
he throws down a Nexus. Nice, he's making a statement right now.
Overcharge.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know what that statement is? It's battery overcharge. It's pretty useful.
Sure, Kappa. Oh, God.
Yeah, I do like that Ryung is setting up a flank here, but I feel like he miscalculated this. A lot of the Colossus splash actually going onto the bunker.
Oh.
This might be just what Ryung needs. He picks off every single one of the Colossus. Only a handful of Archons with splash damage here. Ryung losing so much in the economy, but smashing it. Nice.
The overconfidence of Nice. He pushed all the way in, and that drop from behind was beautiful from Ryung. He sniped every single Colossus, cleans everything up, and now Nice, he's forced all the way back, losing every single high-tech unit.
And he cancels that Nexus. He knows he can't put shield batteries there. Nexus is gonna be useless. But yeah, I am still worried for Ryung here. His economy not doing too well. He managed to keep the third alive, which is absolutely huge. Still has a lot of SCV production potential as well as a lot of mules. But he's not going to be able to mine from that, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's so rough seeing all those fresh mules picked off, the SCVs as well. Ryung, he's just committed to the attack though. Let's see how much there is to defend. There is one Colossus, and shield batteries are about to finish up. Cannons
Honestly,
even.
I'm pretty worried about the Zealots over here. Phoenixes come in, and if they can pick off the Medivacs, Ryung has no business staying here.
True, but like he could just go straight into the main base possibly, but all the Phoenixes they do reposition though.
Yeah, so once again we see Ryung just playing this out as carefully as he can. Really nice connection with the Widow Mines. That one not as great, but still doing really well. Really good EMP, taking off the majority of the shields here for one of these Archons. Is Ryung gonna do it? Like, depowers the Robos.
That he does.
The Zealots have been dealt with for the most part, but there's still two Colossus and a battery overcharge here.
That there are, and the Phoenixes pick up the majority of the army. There's just so many of them. The CC potential is insane, and it is enough for Nice to defend.
Yeah, Ryung had a lot of initiative at the start of this engagement, but once the Phoenixes picked off the majority of the army and the rest of Nice's army dealt with what Ryung had on the ground, it was a little bit too much. Ryung gonna have to lick his wounds once again, get ready for round 2.5. I don't really want to call this round 3.
I mean, he's trying. He still has his third mining. Unfortunately, like Nice, like his economy was left unscathed by that attack. He's free to expand, take his fourth base, and these Phoenixes have done so well for him this entire game. Like he's kept the majority of them alive, and he just keeps getting more and more value out of them.
Somewhere out there, Rotterdam, he's getting ready for IEM Katowice, and he doesn't know why, but he's just smiling.
Oh god, yeah, it's such a shame that Nice wouldn't be there, but he is here with all these Phoenixes and somehow keeping the majority of them alive. And now Nice is free to just macro up at home. 4 Colossus now.
And that is very much a sweet spot for Protoss. We see Nice, he's starting to diversify his AoE, getting some disruptors as well.
Yeah, like there was so much potential with Ryung's earlier attack, but now like it does feel like the wind has been kind of taken out of his sails. He would have to try and
an SCV pool?
Maybe an SCV pool with like a timing with +3. Like +3 is pretty huge and it's on the way.
Really is. I mean, Nice still struggling to get his +2 weapons. I don't believe he has any armor upgrades. In fact, his second forge really now gonna be finishing up. So Ryung has a massive upgrade lead. Not sure if he really notices that, but he is making sure that, I think he does notice his upgrade lead actually. He's not going for any sort of harass. He's just trying to pool together as many units as he can to go for a big push.
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs, right? Like, there's a lot that can go well for Ryung. Like, he has all these Widow Mines, like, set up to maybe trap and catch some of these Phoenixes. If he cleans up the Phoenixes, then he can be free to move out across the map. He's got plenty of goes for EMP as well, so he can have, like, this ideal engagement, but will Nice allow him to do that?
That we shall see. Again, just really good control here with his Phoenixes, patrolling around everywhere. Really good EMP, but not quite enough to drain the energy. That's the drained energy light, and Nice is not going to be able to pick up any units for a while with the Phoenixes. Essentially, they can take out the Medivacs, but what are they going to do from there? In fact, it's still vulnerable here. Ryung baiting them forward. So tactical Ryung is being right now.
Nicely done by Ryung. Again, as you said, these Phoenixes are inert at the moment. They can't do anything except DPS, but Ryung has to still be so careful due to these disruptors. He has to split, puppy.
Only one mine going down to that Nova. Really nice trade for Ryung so far. He's taking this very, very seriously. He is getting ready in an area to pre-split. He knows that this is a very good choke point that Nice can take advantage of.
That it is, and because of that, Ryung, he can't really fight here. Maybe if Nice pushes out too much, the EMPs, they can still land. Ryung, he's looking for an angle.
Almost finding it, but that thermal lands on 4 Colossus Light.
Yeah,
it is insane. He can try to YOLO to Ghost Fort, but at that point, you're sacrificing about 6 Ghosts for 2 EMPs. At least in my experience, that's what it is. Ryung would be a little bit better with the control.
Yeah. Head-on engagement is not ideal here. Ryung, he understands that. He respects the army. He backs off. He doesn't waste too much supply trying to brute force his way into the 3rd base. But what's scary is that he is giving Nice the room to get a 5th base. Like, this is getting too out of control for Nice. Like, they're both getting close to maxing out, and even DTs are coming out.
Just to be that much more annoying. There are some turrets that were, built to deal with the Phoenixes earlier on, but no planetary, so not an easy way for Ryung to really deal with this harass. He needs to pull back with his army. 10 workers already going down, but I mean, that's not ideal whatsoever, Light. I mean, Ryung doesn't really have much of a bank, but as you said, he's getting pretty close to maxing out. He's getting a bigger army than Nice at the moment.
Yeah, and he's kind of pulling his army apart. Nice is stuck here at the 3rd base. At the same time, this 4th will be targeted down. Ooh, but the recall is used. At the same time, Ryung, he's looking to hit that 5th.
That he is. Oh, takes out a Ghost, which is actually pretty huge here for Nice. You'd never want to underestimate EMPs. But very good mine shots come down from Ryung, and as you said, just pulling the army of Nice apart. That's the problem with Death Aura, isn't it? The bases, when you expand this way, they are just so isolated from one another.
Yeah, so far, Nice has been able to split up his army nicely, but Ryung, he's looking to converge on this half of the army.
Should be able to take this out as long as he's able to regroup. He shouldn't have too much to worry about from the other army coming down. Nice EMPs being thrown. Really good Widow Mine connection, sticking out a lot of the Phoenixes. Not as much crowd control as there once was. Like the Disruptors getting sniped before the Novas could really land. There's not enough of a gateway buffer here for Nice. I think Ryung has just done it.
Oh, he missed the scan. The DTs are cleaning everything up. There's no detection for Ryung, and it looks like he will get cleaned up. Oh, the scan was not where it needed to be.
EMPs, the DTs. What a comeback coming out from our Tuna Terran. GG.
Oh my god, that was terrifying.
It really was. Thankfully, he still had a couple of EMPs left on his on his ghost over there. I think that was really what prompted Nice to GG in the end there.
Yeah, well, not just
but,
that,
I mean, it was
like,
a pretty bad position from Nice overall, but
yeah, and
I mean that was the main trigger for him to have GG then and there instead of a couple of minutes afterwards.
Well, what's important is that let's not forget Ryung. He killed. I think there was 8 disruptors went down in that fight.
He did.
He targeted down every single one. The Colossus as well. I think there was only maybe 1 Colossus remaining, and half of Ryung's army was still attacking that 5th base. He still had a really strong anchor point for his army. Meanwhile, Nice was all over the place, and
I think this game really goes to show how good Ryung is when it comes to positioning, not just when it comes to borrowing mines or sieging up tanks, but also just understanding what his opponent's army is looking at, right? Where he should place his own army, where he should go for flank, and man, that final engagement at the end. Ryung was up in upgrades, I'll give you that, but
yeah,
I feel like upgrades was not what won Ryung the engagement.
I mean, it was the decision making, right? Like, yeah, like the fact that he was able to catch half the army on its own, right? Like, kind of catch nice out of position. I'm just watching the replay. Every single disruptor getting sniped there. I think more than 8 actually were sniped. That was crazy.
If we look at the replays, we'll probably see an insane amount. I mean, what we should do is we should try to guess how many disruptors went down, and I'm sure that it's even more than that.